Hi, and welcome to Cooking with Richie, the podcast. In today's episode, I am joined by a dear friend who is a yoga and meditation specialist, Christine Okamoto. In part one of this podcast, we will explore how simplicity, presence, and reconnecting with nature can help release stored emotions, address trauma, and embrace practices like movement and mindfulness. These approaches allow us to access deeper layers of healing that go far beyond nutrition. Christine has a beautiful outlook on life, and I can tell you, listening to her talk is infectious. We thought the best place to start this interview was with her talking about her life as an entrepreneur. This essentially paved her path to where she is now, and I'm telling you, you want to listen in on this podcast. It is absolutely life-changing. Enjoy. One of the things that I really like about you is that you are an entrepreneur.
I do feel, when I look back at my life, and even now, in this stage of my life, I do feel that I'm always in some stage of reinventing myself.
Mm-hmm.
I have so many versions of myself that I've created over the years. And I think that never really stops. You just shift into a different mode. But, when I started my first business, it was generally because I couldn't find the job that I really wanted to do.
Right.
And so I thought, I'll just make it then. And then that kind of evolved, right? Mm-hmm. I started it as one thing, and then I saw different needs coming up in my clients, and I thought, well, I should offer this service too.
Mm-hmm.
So then that kind of morphed into different kind of consulting business than I had originally started. And then I dabbled in I had another business going for a while that was more sort of interior design focused.
I remember that.
Art and things like that. And then after that, I, at some point, different things happened in my life. And I started getting more into yoga and health and wellness and Ayurveda and things like that.
What navigated you towards yoga?
When I had my consulting business, I was going to a gym, but I wasn't so excited about the lifting weights and stuff like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It wasn't really exciting for me to go to the gym. And then I peeked into a room one day and they were just moving their bodies. There's no equipment involved. That somehow was very attractive to me.
Okay.
And I thought, I want to do that.
Right.
I want to go into this room and get on a mat and just move my body.
Right.
And I met a lot of really nice and kind, welcoming people. And I liked it. I mean, just not only the physical aspect of it, but just I felt so welcomed and I felt calm and serene when I was in that class. And then that teacher went to different places to teach, and we just a bunch of it just kind of went to different places. Wherever he was teaching, we'd go. And then later, I had an opportunity to take a teacher training course, and I thought, I really want to just understand more about what this is about, so I want to go deeper. So then I took that, and then I started teaching when I was living in Hawaii, and I taught beach yoga. I just thought, I'm going to just show up here every day at the same time and believe that I'll get students. Because I chose my favorite place. I thought, this is my favorite place to do yoga, in front of the beach and in front of the ocean. And so people started coming, and I just kept showing up. And then I started teaching. At some point I had students who wanted to become yoga teachers, so I was certifying and training other yoga teachers. But as I grow older, I feel a deeper connection with nature, a deeper connection with myself, and I notice things so much more. I notice subtle changes in nature, in the temperature more, throughout the year. I notice birds and other wildlife. I'm a more keen observer of nature than I had been in my early years. And I'm not doing the yoga business full time anymore. I've reinvented myself again, living in a different place again. And I'm now I have a job in the corporate world, which I never thought. I mean, you never know, never say never, right? You never know what's going to come up in life.
Right.
There are all kinds of twists and turns, but
I call them crossroads.
Yes. I love what I'm doing now too, but kind of incorporating always the things that I learn through yoga, the practices of the way that I move my body, the way that I stretch and stay strong, and the way that I've learned to meditate and connect with myself in the present. Right. I think helps me as, stay healthy as I age.
We talked a few days ago, and we talked about the journey of simplicity, presence, and nature. And that spawned into a 2-hour conversation, and it was brilliant. And I feel bad that I didn't record that conversation because I really should have, because there was so much stuff that you were just everything was just, it was liquid gold.
I think in my younger years, when I look back, I was more concerned with how other people might view me and how I fit into society and what I should be doing or shouldn't be doing according to, I don't know, other people's ideas, and I've kind of shed those things as I age. I'm going back to basics. And simplicity is partly getting rid of those things that don't serve you, that don't help you feel good about yourself and your life.
Right.
And also not accumulating things a lot and not accumulating both tangible and intangible things. When our family moved from Hawaii to California, it's really expensive to ship things over the ocean. And I had already sort of thought, I don't want to have a lot of things. Like, as I get older, I want to have fewer things so that eventually, when I leave this planet, I'm not going to leave a whole bunch of stuff behind that somebody else has to clean up. So one great thing about moving, of course, moving can be very stressful and discombobulating, but one great thing is it's a chance to take stock of everything that you have and make decisions and decide what is really meaningful for you to hang on to and what is not.
Right.
And we just shed a whole bunch of stuff that we didn't feel we needed in the next phase of our lives. And so that was very freeing when we showed up at our new place and we had very few physical items in our possession. It felt really freeing. So that kind of simplicity is what I feel that I need as I take my journey into my later years.
When my mother passed away, I didn't want to let her go, and I actually took a lot of stuff from her, and I shipped them down in a pod to my house where I am now, and my garage is full. My house is filled with my mother's stuff, and I would love it. I just don't know if I could ever release even my own stuff. Like, see that drum set behind me? 1973 I bought that, and I can't play drums anymore, but I will not. I can't get rid of it. My son just says, Rick, you got to let these things go. You really do. You sell them, let them go, and you feel better.
It does feel good.
Yeah.
But I mean, everything in its own timing, right? Maybe you're not ready at this time, and maybe there's other things that you can let go of that will feel good.
Right.
For me, that was, moving was the thing that helped really shed a lot of that, and it felt good.
Good.
But then, then I started thinking, what's the mental baggage that I'm carrying that I don't need anymore too? Okay. the weight of other people's expectations or my ideas of who I was, what identities am I holding on to, that I could grow and change again and reinvent myself again and not necessarily hang on to that.
Okay.
So that was something else too. I thought I need to have a different iteration of my career as well. I just had this feeling that I needed to move on, but it was a little bit stressful to give up this identity of myself as a yoga teacher, trainer, or whatever I was doing. But then again, once I reinvented myself, I felt, oh, this is a whole. It can be new and fresh again.
Yeah. I like how you say reinventing yourself. I would call it resetting to zero. It's the same thing. Reinventing yourself, resetting to zero, and that we know that we can trust ourselves, that we will always be okay. So so we do go through cycles in our lives. We always have to reinvent ourselves. You can never be afraid to do that. And I think the more that we do it, the easier the next time we roll around, it becomes, it's scary, but it's done, and it's so satisfying. And when I saw you doing your yoga, I'm like, I just knew that you were right in your element, because you just look so happy and you look so at peace and stuff. And let's talk about presence, the journey of presence.
Yeah, and I think it ties in with simplicity, because when you keep things simple, when you try to get rid of whatever's extraneous or what doesn't really apply to you anymore, because we grow and we change, we have to let ourselves change, right? You become more available to the present moment. When things are very complicated and you're going in so many different directions all at once, it's hard to know where you are, what time it is, how you feel, and be aware of your present surroundings, right? So I think when I'm able to simplify my life, both tangibly and intangibly, I'm more available to the present moment, and that helps me to relax, which is a very healthy thing too, right? To be more relaxed than, tense and stressed. So, but it's hard to be present when your mind is too busy because you've got too many things going on, right? And our bodies are always right here in the present moment. And everything in life only happens in the now. Nothing happens in the past, that's done. Nothing happens in the future, it's not here yet. But our minds are so busy usually thinking about what happened yesterday. I should have done this, I should have done that, I didn't handle this correctly, right? Or thinking, what's going to happen tomorrow? What if this happens? What if that happens? That we forget to be right here with our bodies. And that's also when our mind and our body gets out of sync, we can have health issues too. Right? So spending time, keeping it simple so that I have time to sit and process and be present with myself and notice how I feel, what the temperature of the air feels like around me, what are the sounds and sights and smells around me. I can drop into the present moment and really feel that I'm right here in my body. Yes, I'm aging and I'm enjoying and I'm reinventing myself and I'm processing. I'm alive. I'm alive right here in this moment. Sometimes we kind of forget that we're alive because we're so busy, like in here.
Yeah. We can't be present until we connect ourselves. Until we align our body with our mind.
Right. And it helps you make those decisions too if you want to simplify your life. If that's really calling to you, like it really called to me, and I wasn't sure where to start at first. When you really allow yourself to have some quiet time, just being present and just feeling your body and just doing a simple like body scan meditation where you go through each body part and you're just aware of each body part, and you get to the end and you just feel like, oh, I'm right here. And then some internal wisdom will just rise out of that a lot of the time. And you'll just get this message like, oh, I need to let that go. You know, something will come up.
Right.
You don't get rid of everything all at once, but
Right.
just one by one, right? Something will come up like, that's not, you don't need that anymore.
Right.
And so that the simplicity and the presence really, to me, there's a synergy there. So sometimes when you get really present, when you do something like a body scan meditation, which we could do right now if you want, but a message will come through once you get really quiet and present with yourself. And it'll be some kind of a message from you to you, right? That there's something that you need to let go.
I would love to. Can we do it now?
You want to do that? Let's do it. Because
Yeah.
like an example is, sometimes when I'll do a meditation like that, and then I'll get this message from me to me, right? That says like, you've been really self-critical, and that's not helping you any, right? It's not serving you.
Okay.
And I'll be like, oh, that's true. But I wouldn't have noticed that if I was just doing past, present, that back and forth thing that the mind does. So
all right.
let's just do a little.
All right. So, what did you want me to just make myself comfy?
Yeah, make yourself comfortable, but it's really good to sit up tall.
Right.
You want to have a tall spine. What I like to do is imagine that there's a string on the top of my head and it's being pulled up into the ceiling. And if I imagine that, it kind of helps me sit up a little taller. And then, we carry a lot of tension in our jaw. A lot of times, like, we clenching our teeth without even realizing it when we get stressed. So we can just like bring our fingertips behind the ears and just kind of like massage that a little bit if you feel like that's tense. Or just kind of make sure there's a space between your molars, right? Your top molars and your bottom molars. So you're not clenching. You just kind of relax that. And then we'll place the attention on the top of our head again. You can let your eyes close or just kind of, drop your gaze or whatever feels comfortable for you. Just notice the top of our head. Just place your awareness there. Just notice. And the more you notice it, the more you notice the top of your head, the more you can feel like it's a little bit of a sensation of warmth and ease that's sort of entering your body from the very top of your head. And then you can notice your forehead. And as you notice your forehead, can you help it relax a little bit? Maybe broaden the forehead. Maybe the space between the eyebrows gets broader as you relax that. Relaxing all the muscles in your face. Can you relax your cheek muscles? The muscles around your eyes? Maybe the right side of your head and your right ear. The left side of your head and your left ear. Back to the jaw again, left side, right side. What about your mouth? Maybe the muscles around your mouth can relax. What about the inside of your mouth? Can that relax too? So your whole head is kind of feeling relaxed now. In fact, we can go back to the top of the head. And from the top of the head, let's go to the back of the head. And maybe we can go to the back of the head where it meets the neck. Relax all of those neck muscles. Holding up our head all day. They're working so hard for us. What about the right and left side of your neck where they meet the shoulders? Relax those. Your right shoulder, your left shoulder, your right armpit, your left armpit, right upper arm, left upper arm, right elbow, left elbow, right forearm, left forearm, right wrist, left wrist, right hand, left hand. What about all the fingers of your hands? Your right thumb, index finger, middle finger, fourth finger, pinky finger. Can that whole right hand be relaxed? What about your left hand? Thumb, index finger, middle finger, fourth finger, fifth finger. The whole left hand can be relaxed now. And you're right here in your body, back to the top of the head. Now along the back of the body, let's travel down the spine from the top of the head, through the back of the head, down to the neck, all the way down the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Notice, just breathing and noticing, all the way down to the tailbone. Back to the top of the head. This time we're going to travel down the front of the body. So from the top of the head, through the middle of the forehead, in between the eyebrows, down the bridge of the nose, down through past the lips, past the chin, past the throat. Now we're at the chest. Right side of the chest, left side of the chest, middle of the chest, and down to the ribs, right side of the ribs, left side of the ribs. Can your whole abdomen relax? Belly button. Now your hips and your pelvis, the seat that you're sitting on, right thigh, left thigh, right knee, left knee, back of the right thigh, back of the left thigh, back of the right knee, back of the left knee, right shin, right calf muscle, left calf muscle, right ankle, left ankle, right foot, left foot, the sole of the right foot, the sole of the left foot, all the toes on your right foot, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. All the toes on your left foot, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Now your entire body is relaxed and you feel that you're right here in your body, in the present moment. And very quietly ask yourself if there's any message that another part of you wants to say. The part of you that only speaks when you're really quiet and relaxed. It doesn't always come up, but sometimes it does. Sometimes you get a message that is something that you need to hear, something you need to let go of, something you need to be open about, something that brings you a feeling of more ease and love. And then let's bring our palms together and rub them together, make a little bit of warmth in your hands. And then put your hands on your heart. And know that you can come back here anytime and commune with yourself. Be with yourself. Be present and honor this time that you're alive right now. And when I open my eyes after a time like this, sometimes the light is too bright, so I like to bring my hands in front of my eyes and then open my eyes so the light is filtered through my fingers a little bit more gently. And then when my eyes are adjusted to the light, I'll slowly take my hands away.
Thank you. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, it's interesting how just placing your awareness or attention on each body part kind of makes you feel something, right? You
Yeah.
feel the energy of that. It's like there's an energy to attention. And sometimes we forget to pay attention to ourselves because our minds are so busy, we're thinking so much and we're paying attention to all these different things around us. And attention, when you think about it, like attention is love. Right? Whatever you're focusing on, whatever you're paying attention to, there's love in that.
Right.
And so if we spend a few moments paying attention to each part of ourselves, it's kind of an aspect of self-love. I think it helps us to feel better. And I don't know, that's one of my favorite things for staying healthy and feeling alive.
How do I put this? When I had my medical event back in 2021, and the severity of what had happened to me, forced me to pay attention to me. And I didn't know how, and I just knew that I had a lot of organ failure, my heart failure, and the vascular issues in my legs. I went from focusing on everything but me in my life, my kids, my wife, my family, my dog, to focus on me. And I had to focus, I just have to start to listen to my body and not fight it, because I was fighting it for a long time. But talking to you, a few days ago, when you were just talking about, connecting with yourself and talking to sending love to yourself, and it's so hard because I was so upset at my body. I was so upset, just like, how can my body fail me? I've gotten so far, and all of a sudden everything just like upside down. God gave me a second chance, and I don't know why. I still to this day don't understand why he chose to spare me, where a good 90% of the people that have what I had died in the hospital, but I didn't. And it took a while, but then I realized that I need to simplify my life. So for the next 3 years of my life, my body actually started talking to me, things that it needed nutrition-wise. And these weren't cravings. These just like my body's just saying, I'm trying to help you, but you got to listen to me. And I stopped a lot of the outside noises, and I silenced those noises, and I started paying attention more to me. You know my wife, and one of the things, she cared so much about me when I had went through that whole experience, and she was telling me the same thing you were, but I wasn't really listening to her back then because I didn't I didn't understand. I didn't love myself. I didn't like what had happened to me. I didn't know what my future was. I was like, what am I gonna do? But she just said, we'll take one day at a time. This is something I think I really need in my life, is just to align myself. But if I can just focus a little bit more and quiet the voices, and just remind myself that even though I'm not who I was, I'm still good enough. I loved when you were talking about the water, how everything washes itself out.
Yeah.
How can we segue into that? Could you explain to me that whole analogy? Because I just thought that was wonderful. So
Yeah. So, it kind of goes along the lines of what you were saying about how it's just one day at a time, right?
yeah.
And you used to be a picky eater, but it sounds like you're not anymore.
Nope.
Because like you're eating ginger and the bok choy and all the things.
I love it.
So we can do new things, right? You can teach an old dog new tricks, because we're learning and growing and changing all the time, as we age too. And it can be step by step, little by little. If you had, let's say you had a clear bottle and it had a little bit of something dark and sticky in the bottom, like maybe soy sauce or something like that, right? It would be hard to just like stick a chopstick down there and like get it all out, right? But what would be easier to get out is just start pouring clear water into the bottle. And it's not going to happen right away, but if you start pouring clear water into that bottle, that black soy sauce at the bottom is going to turn into like a brown water, muddy kind of looking, and then it's going to get kind of a clear amber looking liquid. And then as you keep going, you keep pouring the water in, eventually all of that is going to start to run clear. And so all the toxins in your body, the things that we all do that aren't necessarily good for us, right? Both metaphysically and physically. All we have to do is every day, just a little bit every day, pour in that clear water, and it's going to purify us, right? It's the same thing with meditation. A lot of times people say, oh, I can't sit for 20 minutes. Well, sit for 1 minute. And then when that gets to be like normal, sit for 2 minutes.
All the toxins that were in my body, when my kidneys and my liver failed, all of the toxins spilled into my bloodstream. And they put me on dialysis trying to clean the blood, and it wasn't working, because it got to the point where the dialysis wasn't working anymore. And what they had to do was they had to flush out the blood that was in my body, because it was killing me, and put new plasma in my body. By doing so, within 48 hours, I came out of my coma, and I was awake and I was aware, and I started getting better. I realized that this water analogy that you talk about, with my blood has so many toxins in it, but if I put pure stuff into it, whether it is food or happiness, love, alignment, any of those positive forces will make this water clear. And it's up to us to keep our mind, our body, our physical form, our nutrition clear as water. And I just thought when you said that just That makes so much sense. It applies in every aspect of your life, whether it's nutrition, whether it's your mind floating from here to there, whether it's toxic food or toxic people. There are toxic people out there that that are not in tuned, because we are, and we have to train ourselves, even though those people are trying to darken the waters around me.
So I think society at large has really made everybody afraid of aging. The messages that are out there, it's all about anti-aging, which basically has the connotation of, aging is bad, right? And as if we're losing value as we age, right? We're not as good as we were before, right? Even the things that people say that are supposed to be positive,
Right.
there's an underlying message of negative. When people say, like, I still got it, it's implying that maybe you shouldn't, because, that's still, that word still is kind of like, so I like to think of it as, I'm very pro-aging. I like to think about all the good things about getting older. First of all, it's a privilege to be older, because a lot of people don't get to be that age, right? And second of all, there are so many things that I know now and that I can handle better now than I could when I was younger before. So there are things that I like more about myself now, actually, than I did 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
Right.
So there are so many things that are positive about aging, and I feel like I am more in tune with myself and with nature. I'm more a part of the entirety of nature and of the planet.
Right.
There are things that I'm more sensitive to that I didn't notice before. I'm very careful with choosing fabrics now, because I can feel if it's something is soft or not soft. If it's a little scratchy, it really bothers me, because I'm more like in tune with things.
Bedding for me, I don't know what it is, but it's for some reason bedding, the type
Yes.
of the cloth and stuff that's on me at night, the weight and the pillows and stuff, that's really means a lot to me now. I don't know why, but it does. But yeah, you're right.
Yes,
Love it.
being able to enjoy simple pleasures
Yeah.
of good bedding.
Yep.
Right, or the perfect pillow or something.
Or a nice warm sweater.
Yes, a nice warm sweater. And when I'm walking outside, I notice the birds that I didn't used to notice so much before. I notice, I take note of like every single kind of bird, like the way they look, the way they sound, what kind of song each bird has. Hummingbirds will come and just like hover right here, because I feel like somehow they know that I'm like looking for them.
What was it for you? What was your moment that you realized you started hearing birds and you started getting in tune with nature? Do you remember at all, or?
Yes, and it's increasing over the years more and more. But the very start of it, I think, is when I really got into meditation. Like when I really got a daily meditation habit going. because I was quiet enough to hear them, and because I was closing my eyes. I think for those of us who are sighted, I mean, I want to make sure to be sensitive to the fact that not everybody in this world is sighted. But if you are sighted, I think those of us who are sighted rely on our sense of sight so much that we don't use our other senses.
That's so true. Wow. Okay.
And so when I close my eyes and meditate, I can hear so much more, and I can feel so much more. All my other senses come alive. And I think that's part of it, because bird song, and now it's just like I can pick out all the different types of, and I never noticed that crows have so many interesting calls that they do.
Really?
Like they have these clicking noises and stuff that they do. I only noticed before when I was younger that they go ka ka, you know, but they have the other. They talk to each other in all kinds of interesting ways. Even the crows are interesting, you know, like they're all interesting to me. All the nature, all the little critters, all the squirrels, you know, like I'm just so much more in tune with like the trees and the seasonal changes of the trees, the leaves on the trees. Somehow as you age, you can just get into like the layer between us and the rest of nature is thinner or something.
Yeah. I always got that through music. I think music replaced nature.
Interesting.
I would listen to some classical music, or I would listen. I would go on YouTube and I would seek out artists, or go on Twitch. There's a guy or a girl playing a guitar or piano or just singing, or an orchestra, philharmonics, you know, whatever. I just that was my nature. That was where I got my good feeling. But then I was out in my backyard. It was one Sunday morning, and an owl. And it was the same freaking owl when I was like a child. On a Sunday morning. Why is it Sunday morning? That owl would be out in my woods, and they would be talking to each other. They could be 100 yards apart, but I would hear that. I heard it. I'm like, that was the first time I heard a bird. And all of a sudden I heard chirping. And I heard the rustling of trees. And I'm like, I completely forgot about nature and nature's music. And I started to cry because it was such an emotional moment for me that my ears actually retuned to a simpler form of happiness. Well, Christine, thank you so much for spending all this time with me and educating everybody out there that's going to have hopefully have a great impact on people. And this is Cooking with Richie, the podcast, signing off. Have a good night. Bye.
Thank you.
And cut. We're done. Woohoo.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.